Today I am starting with unit number 2, and in this lecture we will discuss about the methods of the performance appraisal. Selection of a performance appraisal method. The choice of the method is based largely on the purpose of the appraisal. There are various methods which are available for appraising the performances of the employees. These methods are classified into two categories: traditional methods and the modern methods. The traditional methods or past-oriented methods of performance appraisal includes the following. Number 1 is called as the ranking method. As the name in itself presents, like ranking method includes when we rank the employees based on their performances and based on their functions in the organization. The two most effective methods that comes under the ranking method are named as alternation ranking and the paired comparison ranking. Paired comparison ranking or like simple ranking or alternation ranking may be defined as like this. Number 1 is called as the simple ranking. This can be done either by listing from best to marginal or identifying the best performer and putting him at the top, and then identifying the marginal performer and putting him at the bottom. The same process is followed for all other employees to fit them in between these two extremes. The second way of ranking is the alternation ranking. In this ranking, the manager is asked to choose the most valuable employee on the list. Like here in this example, you can see, like for example, if there are total 20 employees in the organization, the manager has been given this format and he has been given the task just to put the most valuable employee on the top of the sheet, like on number 1. Then similarly, he would be asked just to put the name of the employee who is least valuable on the organization on number 20, and then so on. So here in this case, alternatively he is giving ranking to the most valuable employee and to the least valuable employee, and with this case, like the whole list for the most valuable and the least valuable employee will be prepared, and based on that the management can decide about the increment and about the various other promotional decisions. Then the third form of ranking is called as a paired comparison method. In this method, the performances of the employees are compared with the other employees or other employees of the organization. Like here in this example, you can see like there are 5 employees: A, B, C, D and E, and the performances of the employees are compared with each other. Let us just take an example. For example, like the performance of Mr. A is compared with the performance of B, C, D and E. If A is better than any other employee, he will get the plus sign. But if A is not better than the other employee, he will get the minus sign. Here you can see, if you will compare A with A, they are the same person, so that's why this box is blank. But if you will compare the performance of A with Mr. B, like A is better than B, that's why he got the positive sign. Then A is not much better than C, so that's why he got the minus sign. Then again A is not better than D, that's why again he has got the minus sign. But A is better than E, so that's why he got the plus sign. In nutshell, total number of positive signs that are into the credit of Mr. A is number 2, 1 and 2. If you will go with the other employees, same like they have also got various signs. B has got 1 positive sign, C has got 3 positive signs, D got 2 and E got 2. Here in this chart, C is one of the most best, or you can say the most valuable employee in the organization, as he has got 3 positive signs. So this is somehow the employees are compared with each other and then they are ranked accordingly. So these are the 3 ways of giving the ranks to the employees in the organization. Then the next method is called as the essay method. This is a method in which it is like in an open-ended manner whenever the appraiser is just giving the feedback on the employees. Like there are various points based on which the appraiser can write an essay on the appraisee. Like it may include job knowledge and skills, appraisee's relationship with the other employees, appraisee's personality traits, appraisee's understanding and commitment, appraisee's potential for future organizational roles. Again, this is a simple method in which the appraiser just writes about the appraisee's performance in a form of a essay, and based on that then the management can decide about the various administrative decisions like increments in the salary or promotion and other decisions. Now the next important method is called as a graphic rating scale method. Typically, a graphic scale assesses an employee on a rating scale comprising list of traits and range of performance values for each trait. Rating scales should be continuous. It may be 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Here 5 may be named as outstanding, and then 4 may be above average, and then 3 may be average, and 4 may be 2 may be neutral, and 1 may be unsatisfactory. So if an employee will be judged on the graphic rating scale, like here in this example you can see here one of the employee name is, you can write here, and if you will see, based on all these attributes, on all these functions, he will get certain scores, or he will get certain scores. Like for quantity of work he got outstanding, that means he got 5 score. Then quality of work he got good, it means 4. Then knowledge of job he got satisfactory, that means 3. And for attitude again he got outstanding, like number 5. Then the whole score will be added, and a particular score for that employee will come. So with this they can assess the performances of the employees. Again, it is one of the old technique of appraising the performances of the employees in the organization. Then comes field review method. This is the method in which the HR department plays a crucial role. Here, the person or the functionary from the HR department used to evaluate the respective subordinates by meeting with the line supervisors of them. He used to go to the various departments, and then he used to just meet the line supervisors of that departments, and for each designation he discusses with that line supervisor about that particular designation, and then he used to note down all that kind of the reviews in a notebook. Accordingly, then he used to sit with the management people and with the head of the departments, and then they give the overall rating to the employees, and based on all that ratings they just take the decisions, administrative decisions on the increments in the salary or promotion or demotion kind of the decisions. So this is again the method which is one of the oldest technique and comes into the past oriented methods of the performance appraisal. Then comes force choice distribution method. Under this method, 2 groups of statements are designed by HR department or an outside expert. Appraisers have to choose from among groups of statements those which best describes the employee and those which least describes him. The statements are then weighted or scored. People with high scores are the better employees, and those with the low scores are the marginal ones. The good thing about the method is that since the rater does not know what the scoring weights for each statement are, in theory at least, he cannot play favorites. So this is one of the good thing about this method. Then comes the next method named as critical incident method. The term used to describe a method of performance appraisal that list of statements of very effective and very ineffective behavior for employees. These critical incidents or events represent the outstanding or poor behavior of employees on the job. The lists have been combined into categories which vary with the job. Here in this example you can see this is the. So if we take an example from the critical incident method, here you can see the table of assistant plant manager. There are 3 columns, it includes the continuing duties, the targets and the critical incidents. So for all the designations, these kind of the tables can be maintained by the management people. So just to see the critical incidents that can take place in any particular post. Moving to the next important method, it is named as checklist and weighted checklist. The term used to define a set of adjectives or the descriptive statements. A checklist represents in its simplest form a set of objectives or a descriptive statements about the employee and his behavior. If the rater believes strongly that the employee possesses a particular listed trait, he checks the item, otherwise he leaves the item blank. So this is a simplest method which is also very much popular in the field of the management, in the field of the performance appraisal. Like here you can see the example. Is the employee really interested in the task assigned? Either you can check it, or either if the options yes or no are given, you can take on the appropriate option. So this is somehow the checklist method works in any organization. And then the next important method named as confidential report. This is a method which is mostly used into the government organizational setups. It is used in the military setups. A simple confidential report is prepared for a particular employee, and that report is prepared by the reporting officer, and once the report is prepared, it is confidential, and like the management usually do not discuss these kind of the reports with the concerned appraisee or with the concerned employee. In the government departments, even these kind of the reports are working nowadays. Like this report includes and highlights the strengths and weaknesses of the subordinates. And this is also one of the oldest technique of performance appraisal. The next is called as the BARS method. The full form of BARS is behaviorally anchored rating scale. Like it is a method that defines the dimensions to be evaluated in behavioral terms and uses critical events to anchor different performance levels. Like for doing a job, there may be the different kind of behaviors that can be that can take place on the part of the employee. Like we can just have an example just to have the proper explanation on this method. Like if you will take the hypothetical position of the human resource coordinator, one of the job holder responsibility is to complete status change notices, which update the personal system regarding changes in employee pay, position, title, supervisor, and personal data. The BARS method for this specific task in this specific job could be read as follows. Number 5 is the exceptional performance. He accurately completes and submits all status change notices within an hour of request. Number 4 is the excellent performance. He verifies all status change notice information with requesting manager before submitting. Number 3 is fully competent performance. He completes status change notice forms by the end of the workday. Number 2 is the marginal performance. Argues when asked to complete a status change notice. Number 1 is unsatisfactory performance. Says status change notice forms have been submitted when they have not. So actually what happened here? Like for a particular job role, there may be 5 kind of the behaviors that they have presented here. It all depends on the kind of a person who is holding or who is just on that particular designation. If the person is committed in his job, he would be exceptional in his behavior and he will get 5 as a score. But if a person is not so committed, maybe that he can just respond in an ineffective manner and maybe he can have a marginal score of 1 or 2. So this is the method which is totally based on the behavior of the employees. With the behavior, effective and ineffective behaviors of the employees, the management tries to assess the performances of the employees in the organization. So this is somehow very practical and one of the past-oriented technique of the performance appraisal. Now the next important concept that includes the modern methods of the performance appraisal. They are also known as the future-oriented methods of the performance appraisal. Number 1 method that comes under this domain is the MBO, that is management by objective. This method was given by Peter Drucker. The management by objective is very popular term. It is a kind of a method which includes the involvement of subordinates while setting the targets for them. So what they want to say here, whenever the company tries to give the targets or set the targets for any employees, they used to just consult with the concerned employees, and in consultation with the employees and the subordinates, the manager just sets the targets for that particular employee. So there is a complete involvement of the appraisees while the targets are set for them. So that is the good thing about this method. If you will go with the steps in MBO, number 1 is the goal setting. It is the duty of the top management that they should just set the KRA, that means key result areas, for all the employees. Once they have set all the KRAs, the second step is the manager and the subordinate involvement, in which they used to call the subordinates and then they share the KRAs with them, just to check with them whether they are comfortable and whether they are willing to perform that particular job or not. Once the consensus is there, then the third step comes as matching goals and resources. It is the duty of the management, even the manager, just to check whether the necessary tools and materials are provided to the employees so that they can just compete or complete the target, whatever has been assigned to them. The next step is the implementation of the plan. Now everything is going through the plan. The targets are already set in consultation with the subordinate, and now the turn has come when the plan must be implemented. So here the plan is implemented, and if there is any kind of the guidance or clarification that is required by the subordinate, then superiors are there to just guide them. And at last the performances are reviewed and appraised by the superiors, by the managers, and such reviews determines if the progress is satisfactory or the subordinate is facing some problems. Performance appraisal at these reviews should be conducted based on fair and measurable standards. So this is one of the method in which there is a complete involvement of subordinate while they are performing their duties, while the targets are set for them. So that's why the method is highly appreciated by most of the modern organizations, and that's why it is also called as one of the modern technique of performance appraisal. There are various advantages of MBO. Here you can see it establishes the link between organization and individual performance. It's very easy to implement. Even it measures the performance, not the personality of the employees. It is result oriented. It is the formulation of the DRR goals. That means as a subordinate, what I like, I will get that kind of a target. So that's why I can work on my DRR goal. Then it facilitates the objective appraisal. It raises the employee morale. It facilitates effective planning. It acts as a motivational force. It facilitates effective control. It facilitates personal leadership also. But there are certain disadvantages and limitations also that are faced by this concept of MBO. It more emphasizes on job completion rather than the quality of a job. Sometimes teamwork suffers into this kind of the method. It is time consuming. There is a reward punishment approach in this method. Sometimes it increases the paperwork. It sometimes creates the organizational problems. There is a problem of coordination. It lacks durability. There may be the problems related to the goal setting, and there is lack of appreciation of the employees. Sometimes if they are not able to achieve what they set as a target for them, so they are criticized by the management, like they got the goal according to their choice, but still they were not able to achieve that. So that kind of a problem can be there in the MBO kind of the concepts. Then it develops sometimes the conflicting objectives. So these all are the limitations of the MBO. Then the next important method that comes under the modern methods of performance appraisal is named as assessment center method. Whatever the methods we have discussed till now, they all are just assessing the past performances. But there is a requirement of some method which can assess for the future performance or the potential of the employees. So assessment center method is somehow the kind of the method that predicts the future performance of the employees. For example, like if you want to you are looking for some higher designation or the promotion of some person. So this is the technique. Assessment center is a technique with which you can assess the employees for the future performances. If you will go with the formal concept of the assessment center method, it may be defined as like an assessment center is a multiple assessment of several individuals performed simultaneously by a group of trained evaluators using a variety of group and individual exercises. Individuals from different departments are brought together to spend 2 to 3 days working on individual and group assignments similar to the ones they will be handling if they are promoted. So the assessment center is one of the technique with which you can take the decisions on the promotion of the employees inside the organization. There are various tools related with the assessment center. Number 1 is the psychometric test, which is very popular. Number 2 can be the interviews. The structured interviews may be conducted. So just to assess the potential of the employees, just to check whether they are competent enough to hold the senior roles in the organizational setup. Then there may be the leaderless GD. It again just gives the idea to the management about the competency level, or you can say the potential employees. Then there may be the in-basket exercise or in-tray exercise. The in-tray exercise consists of various written messages and communications from customers, suppliers, government authorities, internal departments, senior management, etc. The objective is to assess an employee activity level, problem analysis skills, planning and organizing skills, time management and delegation. So if the employee is the best in managing all these real life situations, So the management may take the decisions on the promotion of that particular employee. So that's why this is also one of the technique under the assessment center method. Then there may be the simulation games, business games, in which the real live environment, simulated business environment is created among the candidates, among the participants, and the management just try to check the analytical capacity of the employees, the decision making skills of the employees, so that to take the best of the decisions for the promotion of them. Then there may be the role playing, there may be presentations, there may be case studies that may be given to the employees, so that's to check how good they are in analyzing the cases or solving the cases. So these all are the various techniques that comes under the assessment center method. The next and the third important method is named as human resource accounting method. It is a kind of a method in which the management tries to evaluate the cost and the kind of the revenue that has been generated by the employee. Like if we will go with the explanation of this kind of the method, here the management tries to just calculate the total cost what they have faced while recruiting the employees, like in the induction and the placement of the employees, or in the training and development of the employees, or while providing them the salary. The total cost what the management has incurred on a particular employee and the value added by that particular employee for the organization is usually matched. If he has done a great work for the organization, or if the expenses what the management has done on him are less and he has generated more of the revenue for the organization, so that means the employee is somehow a good employee and the profitable one for the organization. Then the next important method is the 360-degree method.